Welcome again to Wendy Yeager Stables. Today we're going to talk about how we are the basics of leading a horse. So the first thing we need to be able to do is to get our horse safely out of a stall. So the stall is their comfort zone. You're also entering their home, so to speak. So in order to get our horse out of the stall, we need two things before we go in there. We need our halter. This is different from our bridle. Our bridle is what we ride in. Our halter is what we lead our horse around the stable. And we need a lead rope. So sometimes some people are comfortable attaching the lead rope to the halter before they go in the stall. Some prefer to have it on the horse before they attach the lead rope. So first thing we want to make sure is our horse knows that we're going to come in. Now our horses here at Wendy Yeager Stables do like their food quite a bit, and a lot of times we prefer horses to come to the door when we put their halter on. Unfortunately, because our feeder is at the back of the stalls, sometimes they're not quite so inclined to come out. So I am going to open the gate. I am going to make sure that my horse is aware that I'm coming in. So Tinkerbell, we're going to come in your stall. Now, usually if we were great and she wanted to come, she would come and turn and come towards us. She's not going to do that, but I can see from her ears, she knows I'm there, and that's the most important thing. I'm going to close my stall door. I'm not going to latch it, just because if I need a quick escape, I don't want to have to unlatch the door. So then we're going to ask, hey Tinkerbell, we're coming in. Now, I'm going to try to bring Tinkerbell around here. We don't normally do that, but I'm going to show you so I can show how we get this halter on. The halters, if we hold them from the top, from the crown piece, we're going to slip that part over the front of their nose, and then we're going to put the nose piece around their nose, and then we're going to bring it up here. We're going to bring their ear forward to loop it on, and the other ear forward to loop it on. And then we have one clip. This clip is just going to come around under their chin, and then we already have our halter or our lead rope attached, so now we're ready to exit the stall. Now, rule of thumb, we always walk beside our horse. The only time we don't is when we have to go through a door, and the key here is we have to go first. The human goes first, the horse follows. So I'm going to push my horse's head away. Come on, Tinkerbell. And we're going to bring Tinkerbell to the door. We're going to open that gate nice and wide. Okay, she's a wide horse. All of our horses are wide. A lot of times our horses don't like tapping a gate. So we want to make sure we come in nice and safely. So now we're going to bring our horse out to the cross ties. So I'm going to come through the door first. She's going to follow me. And then I'm going to bring her over to the cross ties. So now that we've got our horse nicely lined up for the cross ties, we're going to attach our cross ties to our horse. Our lead line is attached on the ring on the underside of our halter. The cross ties are going to attach to the sides. So we're going to bring them around. We're going to put the clip around. Then we're going to slide our collar down, put the tab in, and then slide it back. And that is a safety snap, and I'll show you how you undo them and why they're really important. So now we're going to go around to the other side, and we're going to do the same thing, going under our cross tie, not under our horse's head. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to attach that cross tie, going around, pulling the collar down, sliding the tab in, and letting the collar back up. At this point, it is now safe for us to be able to unclip our horse from the lead line. The other thing we want to note is we've left a gate open. And because our gate's open and don't slide, we do want to just close it. We don't necessarily have to latch it, but we want to make sure it's closed and out of the way. So now we're going to pretend that we're done with our horse for the day and they need to return to their stall. So we want to be able to do that safely as well. So the first thing is, because my horse is nicely attached and safely secured, I'm going to open my gate now so I don't have to do it later. And then I'm going to undo my cross ties. But before I do that, I'm going to make sure I latch my lead chain underneath the halter. Now, when I undo my cross ties, these are safety snaps. So all I actually have to do is pull the collar in the direction of the arrow, which is away from the horse's halter. And then I'm going to do the same on this side, pull it away, and put our cross tie down. Now, When we have to move a horse and turn them around, we have two ways of doing this. We can push them away or we can pull them towards ourselves. So, a couple things to remember when we're doing it either way. If I'm pushing away, my horse might be a little bit more resistant and I might have to make sure I'm really pushing away. So that would be turning them this way. And you can see I kind of got a little tight in here if my horse is a little resistant. So the other way that I can do it is I can pull the horse towards myself. One key thing to remember when I am pulling the horse towards myself, that I have to watch where their feet are landing. So if I'm pulling the horse towards myself, I'm watching their feet and making sure that they're not going to step on me. Okay? So now we're going to bring our horse towards ourselves, and we're going to bring her into her stall. So we're going to lead her towards this. I'm going to go first into the stall. And then I'm going to ask her to turn all the way around in the stall so that she's facing the door. And the reason we do that is because we need an exit. So I'll close the door again, but I'm not going to latch it. And then at this point, if I'm leaving the horse in the stall, I'm going to ask her to back up so we can see a little better. We're going to remove the halter. So we're going to undo the clasp that's at her throat. We're going to slide the halter over her ears. And then we're going to safely exit the stall and latch the gate. So now we're going to talk about the basics of how I lead a horse around the stable. So I have a lead rope. I'm making sure that I'm about 6 inches from the buckle. I'm going to make sure that I am folded, not wound around. If I wind around, my hand can actually get caught. It won't slide, and I'm likely to hurt myself. So when I'm leading a horse, I want to stay between their ears and their shoulder, preferably a little higher towards their ears, so that my horse, I can control them properly. If I want to lead my horse forward, I'm going to walk forward. I'm going to give them a little tug if I need to on the halter to indicate that I'd like them to move forward. If I'm going to go to the right, I'm going to push them over towards the right. If I want them to go to the left, I'm going to pull them over to the left. Generally around the stable, we walk on the horse's left-hand side. All of our horses, however, are used to being led from both sides. If I need them to stop, I'm going to just pull back towards their chest on the halter. I'm also going to make sure that when I ask them to stop, I keep walking with them until they actually stop. Otherwise, they will actually spin right around you. So let's just demonstrate a couple of these things. So now I'm going to walk forward with Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell's not one of our more energetic horses. So sometimes she needs a little bit more encouragement. So as I'm walking forward, you can see that I'm staying just behind her ears. And now if I wish her to move to the left, I'm going to pull her towards the left as I continue. And I'm just going to keep going this way so I can show you what happens now if I want to go to the right. I'm going to push my hand under her chin and push her away. And then if I wish to stop, I'm going to slow, I'm going to pull her back, and I'm going to stop with her. Those are kind of just the basic to get them around the stable, from the barn to the pastures, things like that. Again, if you have any questions, speak to your instructor or your horsemanship instructor.